your background and you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from and your home life and that type of stuff.
Yeah, Arias WebsterBerry. I'm an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, systems builder, a digital marketer, as you said, a Cowboys fan. But I am an avid traveler. I've been to over 40 countries in my short time on this earth. Before all the passports and the boarding passes, um, one of my biggest issues was I had to survive instability. So by the time I was 18, I had lived in more than a dozen homes. I lost my father around the age of 14. At one point, both of my parents were incarcerated. Saying all those things, I didn't grow up with a lot of stability. And because of that, I had to build it. And that's one of the reasons why in my agency and my different businesses, I really focus on systems that really became my superpower. Those systems, they gave me the stability that I didn't have growing up. And they've allowed me to run my businesses and, explore the world. Traveling has been kind of my reward for all of the resilience and kind of a reminder of the messiness of the journey. And that's what makes it magic.
So you had a pretty rough upbringing, but you've gone to like bigger and better things in your life, and you're kind of like a dream come true story. The way that life was set up against you, you were set up to fail.
Hmm.
And really, at this point in your life, you're successful. You're a world traveler. You own a business. You're an author and stuff like that. And I'm interested. You want to tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah, Content Canon, actually sitting over here in the background. Content Canon is actually a part of my launch ignition system. It's one of the 9 steps. But I run a digital marketing agency. We have hundreds of clients all over the country, and one of the things that I noticed is a lot of entrepreneurs, even our clients, have a really, really hard time creating content. They have a hard time setting aside time. They have a hard time figuring out how to set up the camera and their lighting. They have a hard time figuring out what to talk about. And between all those different hardships, typically it just doesn't get done. And even me owning a digital marketing agency, sometimes I'm the same. I get really busy and I get flustered with the whole process of doing this thing. So I came up with Content Canon as a way to take all of the things that we've learned working with, at this point, thousands of entrepreneurs over the 9 years we've had the agency, and put the best practices into one easy to follow guide. It's like 100 pages. It's not long, but it's how you can create a whole month's worth of content for your business in just one day. We give you a roadmap, give you actionable steps to make it easy.
Oh, wow. So, like, would you care to, share an example of, like, let's say you're working with an HVAC company. How would they set up, a month's worth of content for you to run as an agency?
Sure. So one of the things is taking one topic, kind of one big topic, what we call a content keystone. We try to come up with one big topic. There's obviously, especially in HVAC, there's a whole bunch of different things that you do. Whether it's heating, whether it's AC, whether it's kind of the inner working and the plumbing and kind of cleaning your air ducts and blah 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 blah. Right. Take one big idea and then try to break that down into smaller pieces. So maybe that one big idea has 3 to 5 points, and take those points and kind of make, what we would want to do is build a big script, and then have you record those things in various areas. And then also just do some, what we call B-roll. So having some shots of you out on the job, you maybe up in an attic, checking an air duct, or you checking an AC unit outside, just all of that B-roll, and do all those things in one day, right? And then for us, you would give it to us, and then our editors go ahead and edit it. But that's kind of the concept, is having a plan, starting with one particular topic, having multiple points, and then running through it all in maybe 3-4 hours, and then you're done. Well, if you edit it yourself, well, you got a little bit more work to do. But if at our agency, you're done. You hand it to us, we take care of the rest.
So what made you get into marketing and digital marketing? Have you always had a love for computers and the internet, or is it just something you kind of came upon, or is it an interest, or?
That's actually an interesting story. All the hardship and stuff in my formative years, I ended up getting into um, the entertainment space. I became a marketer for musicians, and then I got that led me to doing promotions in nightclubs. And from nightclubs, I went to really small concerts, and then I got into medium-sized concerts, and then eventually festivals. So, largest event being the at the Los Angeles Sports Arena,
Wow.
17,000 people. I was an executive producer. Grammy award-winning artists like Janelle Monáe, Common, Ludacris, Mixmaster Mike from the Beastie Boys, and a whole bunch of other very talented people. Um, and that was where I really got the chance to do marketing on a big scale for the first time. You know, I worked with radio stations. I work with TV stations to do commercials. I work with outdoor advertisers for billboards, and I had like two or three street teams going around LA putting up posters and handing out flyers, right? And just organizing all of that stuff. I had never done it to that level. And I just realized that I remember I was standing on stage in between acts, looking out at 17,000 people looking back at me and realizing that this idea that came out of my head and a conversation with one other guy has turned into all this marketing and all these, you know, amazing celebrities flying in from all over the place and 17,000 people looking back at me because of the marketing that we did. And that
Wow.
was the moment that I was like, hey, I'm kind of good at this. I wonder if, you know, without all the agents and all the chaos of the entertainment, can I just do this? Can I take ideas, put them out into the world and help other people latch onto that and take action?
So you're kind of like self-taught, or did you go to college for this, or a lot
Yeah,
of it on hands-on, or?
that's the interesting part. So again, hardship. So my freshman year of college, my mom was involved with a domestic violence situation, and she actually ended up going to jail as a result. She was not the aggressor, but once it all shook out, she ended up having to serve some time. So my father's already passed at this time, so my financial base is gone. You know, my mom can't support me. We don't have a home. I don't have a car. I've got to find a job. So college was not important at the time, needless to say. I need to figure out how I was going to live and eat. So I ended up dropping out of college, and I never went back. But I still had the entrepreneurial bug. I still wanted to achieve things. I still knew that I needed to be educated.